So I'm going to answer the next question because there are people out there that are hearing over and over this terminology, American national. And I've already addressed this multiple times, and those videos take off like wildfire. I'm addressing this because apparently it's not enough. Some of these gurus are still writing in responses that the word national was there long before in the Articles of Confederation, this, that. Listen to me. Let's get real. You're being baited and you're being trapped. Okay. There is no such thing in law as an American national. Okay. There's the word national, 8 U.S.C. 1101-821. There's national of the United States, 8 U.S.C. 1101-822. Both of them are jurisdiction within the United States corporation. Go to Cornell Law, look up 8 U.S.C. 1101-821. National, a person, you're not a person, that owes allegiance to the United States. Click on, or excuse me, that owes allegiance to a state. A person that owes allegiance to a state. Click on the word state, open it up. Here's what's there. Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, District of Columbia, everything but the 50 several states of the Union. Here's the point. The United States created this in their law, statute, and code, so people would think that is synonymous with state of the Union citizenship. And so by registering to be a national or a national of the United States on your passport, you are saying I am property of the District of Columbia, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Look, there is no defense for you in the Supreme Court, none. I have 100 Supreme Court cases that talk about state of the Union citizenship. None of that is the synonymous or the same or similar or close to national. None of that. State of the Union citizenship is what an American is, as a private American on the land, born here and without contract to the U.S. corporation. So it's very important that these people out there that are teaching these things stop. And let me say something to you. Even Epic Times came out with an article in October about American national, and I about came unglued. I was so happy and elated that they were at least trying to express an experience for people, a new experience or new understanding of citizenship on the land. And I went into correction mode with them. Very politely got on the blog, wrote their emails, wrote their editors, wrote this, said, I'll be more than happy to give the Supreme Court ruling showing you where you are inaccurate and what you should be promoting and pushing as Epic Times, one of the people's newspapers, right? I even have a friend who knows the top news reporter at Epic Times who said it wants to schedule up an interview with me, and they're not responding because I can correct the record legally and lawfully. And unfortunately, this newspaper, who's supposedly for the people, pushed out that same narrative, American national. And there's nothing in law to support it. Listen to me. There's nothing in law to support it except the United States Corporation's law. You get it? So when you make allegiance to anything that they created, whether you think it's synonymous with state of the Union citizenship or not, it's not synonymous. Just go to Cornell Law's website and look it up for yourself. A person, you're not, that owes allegiance to a state. State, the word California is not in there. Arizona is not in there. 50 several states of the Union is not in there. It's everything that's the property of the United States Corporation. They created a like entity that sounds really good, that makes people think that's me, and they make allegiance to that. And that's why they only put that on the passport application. But now they have to say, and if you're something else, go ahead and write an explanatory statement. And it doesn't say that. But yes, go read the oath of office and you'll see what we're saying about our ability to come in and write an explanatory statement. Now, look, when we do passport apps, we don't say American national. We don't say national. We don't say national of the United States. And we for sure say we're not citizens of the United States. We say we're citizens of California. We were born on California. We say we're citizens of the greatest nation on earth, the United States of America, lowercase u, put an asterisk next to the U. Down on the bottom, we define it with a Supreme Court ruling showing 50 several states of the union. We are not the United States citizen. We are not the office holder. We are not the employee. We are the living man, living woman with a full right to access free travel, protected by the Fourth Amendment, protected by the Constitution. The Constitution is for them, to restrain them. It's not for us, okay? Our rights come from God. They're unalienable. Constitution is to restrain them. So there's Fourth Amendment to restrain them and bind them. That's what we do. We bind them to allow for us to travel freely. What are you doing? Why are you stopping us from getting a passport, kind of a thing? And boom, passport gets issued. We listen, thousands of them, thousands and thousands and thousands of them now. 10 years doing this. No, 11 years doing this. Actually, 12 years doing this. 11 years as HISadvocates, A+ rating, no complaints filed with the Better Business Bureau. We know what we're doing. Okay, I'm not on a seminar tour trying to get people excited about the fact of my meeting of, important people and talking about things that aren't true and getting hundreds of thousands of views and hundreds of thousands of hits. Why is that? Why do I have 1,500? Why does my YouTube channel get shut off, but not theirs? Okay. I want you to just think, you can't tell the truth anymore and not have some reasonable amount of pushback, just like they're creating this entire accountability system within the medical reform regarding the things that we're all worried about. It's the same thing, and look, they control both sides. They control both sides. But this isn't any side. This is coming under old law, that we have hundreds of shepherdized Supreme Court rulings allowing us to do this. And when you become self-governed, when you walk away from those corporate ties, when you quit the position of the office holder of the person, you stop using that social, you stop using that. It doesn't mean you can't receive the benefits of what you put into the social. And there's a way that we do that in the application process and how we receive the benefits. But I don't recommend credit. Why? Because it's the continued use of the social, which proves you're continuing to hold an office. For 6,000 years or whatever you believe biblically, we never had to have a need for a social. Okay. We never had to have a need for a marriage license. We never had to have a need for a driver's license. Yeah, I get it. Automobiles didn't exist until this century. Okay. But if you understood what an automobile was versus a motor vehicle, if you understood what a live born record was versus a birth certificate, if you understood what a man was versus an artificial person, or what a church is versus a corporation, and it's all these self-executing ways to lose your freedoms under every entity out there. They've created all these public franchises, DMV, voters, SSA, IRS, and you're going in and you're holding all these different offices. I'm a taxpayer. That's what it says on your oath of, on the 1040s you're filing with the IRS, right on your W4s you're filing, right on your W9s. I am a taxpayer. I am a U.S. citizen. Okay. Identity, one, two or more things operating as one. That's the Black's Law definition. You and the birth certificate creating the identity, the driver's license, creating the identity, the passport. Okay. So that's what the word identification comes from. It's two or more things operating as one. Two or more things operating as one. Why am I saying this over and over? I want you to understand the straw man. It's real. It's called the registered organization. It absolutely exists. It is the citizen. Rundle versus Delaware says that they, as a corporation, can't do business with us as living men. They can only create statutes and codes for a registered organization that you continually to say, I want that job. I want to be a taxpayer. I want to be a U.S. citizen. I want to hold the office. And you hold that office by using all the functions that they give you within it. And that's what we do. We pull you out in every single way. We deal with every one of those adhesion contracts, and we're the best at it. We're the best. We actually have the best fulfillment systems. We have, we give you a support ticket. We give you an 800 number. We give you a Q&A. This is our Q&A we do every other Monday. There's no reason why you can't get a question answered. And so this is why we want to address people. We have members that are going through our Living in the Private program with blogs They're on our website, on HISAdvocates.org, where they're blogging about their experiences with His Advocates on going through the living in the private process. Boom. Love it. Love it. Total accountability. That's who we are. Total accountability. So there is a state citizen. You can be one, and you don't have to be a U.S. citizen, and you for sure don't want to be one. You for sure don't want to be a national or American national of the United States. And don't think you can change those words to be your definitions when you are declaring something that they created. That's it.